So here we are, February 15th, 2023. We're over here at Seeds again. They're starting to put up data again. Not much to see here, but what I want to report on is our Earth-facing CME. Okay, we do have a half a halo Earth-directed CME that's coming our way, and we're going to go over here to the solar report, and we'll show you that here in a minute. So here we are. Here's our GOES X-ray flux. We're chugging right along in C range, which is good. We're having little M-class flares, which is perfect. We want activity, but not too much activity. So this little M flare right here is the one, our latest one, that's going to be headed towards Earth, right? Okay. So, hi everyone, welcome, gather around in the chat, and here we are, like I said, GOES X-ray flux. We're in middle C, having little M-class flares. This latest M-class flare is the one that I'm a little concerned about because it's an Earth-facing one, and we're going to go, let me back out of this just a tad bit, and let's go, oops, there we go. Now, get off of that. Scroll down here. I want to open up the tracker here, and we're going to do the CME tracker here. And we'll zoom in on this for you guys. And here it comes. As it's updating, here comes our CME. It's going to be a direct hit. It's not going south. It's not going north. It's going to be a direct hit, okay? So we are seeing a CME that launched today that's going to be a direct hit. Now for the interesting part, you guys are going to trip when you hear this. Let me take a sip. These CMEs typically take 3 days to get to Earth. If today's the 15th, add 3 to 15, and that would be February 18th. Uh-oh. Coincide with another date from somebody else? Yep, it sure does. We might be getting a double whammy on that day. Who knows? But we do have an Earth-facing CME that is going to impact Earth on the 18th. So, everybody take note of this, okay? This left on the 15th, it'll impact on the 18th. All right, I've been trying to do some homework in between these last stream. Okay, so now we've seen that. Let's go over to the Schumann here, and it's chugging along all right. This is where we have to take the camera out here, and we're going to take a look at close here at our last little readings right here. You can see the last little bits glowing right here. That's good. That's what we want. This little dim patch right here is not what we want. So we had a little slowing in the core, you can see, and then it came back up to speed, all right? Which is a good thing, even though we're kind of going backwards now. It slowed down, but it jumped back to life, and at current moment, we're chugging along fine, so that's good news. Now on to the bad news. Get this camera mounted again. Alright. What else is on the 18th? If you know of Pastor Paul and heard of Mike from around the world, he's a top scientist, kind of responsible for a lot of these instruments and a lot of discoveries out in space. He's an insider who has been releasing some information now. So that's who you need to go over and find out and listen to. Mike from around the world. He's on Thursday nights on Pastor Paul Begley. You guys need to start listening to this man because he knows what he's talking about. I know more about what's going on than he does, but I can just assure you that that man is leading you in the right direction, okay? So that's who, to answer that question in the chat. Now on to the news. News. Let me get this going right here. What you are looking at is our new South Pole. It has all the features that we were looking for. One that I had proposed a long, long time ago is the X-repulsion site, and we're seeing that here. Let me zoom in and pull over to it. You would expect to see it over the site right here. This is all electromagnetic disturbance heating up the crust of the earth. These are all heat signatures right here, not a storm. The X-repulsion site is just off of it right here, where all the currents are coming in from different directions, being repulsed from this point back out in all the different directions. The reason why it's not right over this is because this is the surface and this is up on top of the water. There's a column of water. The earth is rotating in this direction and the water drags behind just a little bit. So it's exactly where it should be, not over the thing. It should be just right here, right where it is. Let me zoom in so you guys can see this. All right, you see these wind directions? Here, let me get nice and tight in on it. There we go. My bad. Now, this is the zone that I was talking about right here, the middle of all this flow. This is the same kind of zone that we would see at the South Pole or the North Pole. This is where weather comes in from all different directions, collides, hits the magnetic, there's like a magnetic pocket right there that repels. So it's an X-shaped repulsion zone because magnets attract as well as repel. Oh my God, look at the color going on over here. All right. We have the full spectrum of color going on right here. This blue denotes cold. The blue, lighter blue is, I'll use my arrow instead of this pointer. This dark blue represents super cold. The lighter blue is a little cooler. Then we go to green, yellow. There's a red band around it going into purple now. Oh boy. Now let's back out of this so you guys can see the magnetic structure. Kind of got to move around a little bit. These little crosses right here, these are going to be our new magnetic field lines, okay? That structure is the magnetic field lines being laid out from the new pole that is taking place now, taking shape here, okay? When we have vortexes, magnetic vortexes under the ground, they create vortexes in the water column as well as in the air. Now, water is more dense than air, so you would expect to see a vortex in the air before you see one in the water. So let's go over to this, and there's little settings over here. I thought this was all winds and stuff, but there are currents as well. That's what we're on. So let's go over to the winds and see what the wind is doing at this site. Oh my God. My screen is all white, but according to yours, let me pull back a little bit. There we go. That's the problem. That is a pole-induced superstorm that is rotating the wrong way. If you look, it is taking stuff into the middle. Oh, it changed direction. No, it's still doing it. It's rotating stuff down in towards the middle. It's not like a hurricane that's rotating and throwing stuff out. This is like a vacuum. This is sucking stuff down into the middle. Okay, you guys seeing this? Now, let me back out some more. Okay. Now this, if you look, I'm going to go a little further out. There's no real storm going on out here. There's no tropical feed. There's no cold jet. There's no nothing feeding this very, very tight, rapidly tight. There's no eye wall. It's so tight. This should have an eye wall. That would be a dead giveaway of a formation this tight would have a defined eye wall, and this doesn't. because it's something different. You know what it is. It's it is our new South Pole. There's no denying it now. I want to see any kind of scientist come along and deny my findings. Any little detail that I have spelled out for you guys, and in this list that I have made you guys write down. That's why I wanted you to have a list, because if this information, or if I go somewhere, you guys will have a list yourselves. Okay? So now what we need to do is we need to adjust this to the 10 setting. Okay, now it looks like a blurry mess, right? Okay, it looks like a blurry mess. But if we remove the blurry mess, it reveals our heat signature on the ocean floor, and it's spiraling. It's showing a spiraling magnetic field effect. They were projecting, if this were to ever happen, and this was all speculation and stuff, they thought that if something like this were to happen, the signs of these poles traveling all pointed. They did some equations. The poles were traveling and were going to collide. The poles, the North Pole and the South Pole, were going to collide right over this point, right above here, or somewhere right around here. I think it's this one. And they weren't far off. Maybe a couple wrong calculations, but here it is. It's in the zone where it was supposed to be, very close to where they predicted it. We are seeing our core reversed. I've shown you all the signs that indicate a core reversal, and now you are seeing another sign of a core reversal. This sign of a core reversal is called a pole flip. We are going to have a magnetic pole flip, at least, at the minimum. Okay? Grasp that concept for a second while we're looking at this. All right? We're going to have a pole flip. Our new pole is taking over right here, right where they said it would be, okay? Now, with a magnetic pole flip, it doesn't necessarily move the crust. It's the magnetic field that changes. It can move the crust at the same time, but it doesn't necessarily have to. Not every time has it, but sometimes it has. In this case, I believe we are going to see a crustal displacement along with the magnetic displacement, because the core is rotating backwards. Okay? That indicates to me that we are going to have more than just a magnetic. That spells out, you add 1 and 1, that makes 2. This one plus the magnetic displacement screams crustal displacement, okay? And that's what we really need to take seriously on this thing, is crustal displacement on a global scale. You saw, I showed you that valley, the fissure in Turkey that was like a canyon, like a valley. Okay, you're seeing crustal displacement already on a pretty good scale. It's about to be turned up and ratcheted up even more. We have this inbound wave that Mike is talking about on the 18th, which collaborated with some calculations I did for a different event on the 18th. So we had different events coinciding on the 18th. Then we have this sun, kicking out a CME on the 15th, which is due here on the 18th. All right? I'm thinking here, our pole flip, our magnetic and crustal pole flip could possibly happen on the 18th. And that's your 3-day warning. You guys getting it now? I think God is doing this on purpose and giving us just like 3 days warning. You know, he likes to work 3 days things. 3 days after spring. 3 days of darkness. You know, This is not good, dude. This is not good. And this is more than just a little cyclone sitting there. I've been tracking this since yesterday and it didn't move much. It did drift a little bit, but it should track like a hurricane. This is not tracking like a hurricane. Hurricanes do not leave electromagnetic signatures, heat signatures on the ocean floor. Okay? This is clearly what's going on. This is a heat signature on the ocean floor that has gone. Wait, let me get a better representation. Look at that eye. That's just gnarly. Look at this signature here. Let me pull it over and center it. Okay, it looks a little fuzzy, but it's still kind of fuzzy. It has a purple cross right here and a purple cross right here. Little purple bleeding out there. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I can zoom in on this. Oh my God. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, let's remove this. All right, now you're really seeing the full spectrum, aren't you? The full spectrum of colors, aren't we? Blue in the center, that denotes cold. If this were a tropical system, why would it have a cold core? And then emanating in different temperatures out to a ring, a barrier ring, then all this purple out here. This is a magnetic signature of the new pole and it's establishing its new field lines. Let me go to a different. Was it that one? Yeah, that's a good one. All right, let's. Again, here at this amplitude, we have a similar reading with these purple-shaped diamonds, red-shaped diamonds now, and you can see that it's pointing and making red lines that come out to the sides. Little boxes. It's forming in little squares. It's going to form a grid work of some kind, which would be the grid work that is established on this planet. You are looking at the birth of new ley lines. How about that, folks? Anybody else figure that out for you yet? Well, I did. Anyways, let's just look at that for a moment. Let that sink in, folks. I'm willing to bet that this storm does not go away. I'm willing to bet it's not a hurricane, a cyclone. I've never seen a cyclone that takes stuff in. It's usually throwing stuff out. All this rotation is sucking stuff in. It's like a toilet bowl. Intent. Anyway, so what you're looking at there is the establishment of a new pole with magnetic affecting the air column, the water column, everything. It can only be that. There's no other explanation for this at this time after having a core reversal. Okay? That's a new South Pole being established. I'm wondering as this establishes and we start rotating around this, is water going to get displaced in all directions and land will pop up there? And when that water gets pushed away, are we going to see inland? I don't know. To tell you the truth, you want to know my calculations and my guesstimate? It's not even a guesstimate. I can tell you straight up right now. This is our new South Pole. The South Pole is stronger than the North. When you pull your compass out, it's actually the other side of the arrow that's being pointing at the south, and they just paint the other side of the arrow red, and it points to the weaker side. This is the dominant side that's established at the South Pole. Now, what we need to do here. All right, we've established that now. So something else I need to work on for you guys is we are going to go further, because I always like to go further. So let me back. Which one did I need? It was this one I need. Okay, and we need to pull back. Okay, we've established our south pole. Okay, in the video I did last night, they said if the south pole were to establish right here, which is just a meter away, so if it establishes here, the opposite pole or north pole would be over here, is where they estimated. Well, they were off a little bit, so it could possibly be this hot spot over here. So what we need to do is start going through all the currents. Let's start with, what was the one we had here now? I'm looking for the right angstrom, or whatever they call this. Height. Oh, darn it, where'd it go? Oh, let's just start with this one. Zoom in on here, over here. You know what? We need to go back to this. And this. Yeah, let's go back to that. All right. Thank you for bearing with me here. We're breaking ground as we go. Isn't this fun, folks? All right. So they're talking about in this zone right here. So we're talking this. Uh-oh. I was looking over here earlier and I didn't notice. I see a circular shape starting to form right there. That would be in between where I think. Anyways, what I wanted to do. All right. We're going to hover over this area until I find it. This one. This one. Where to go? Go. All right. Then it must be on the currents. Yes. Believe it's this one. All right, let me get the currents going here. And if I can find it real quick. Oh, it changed. It changed since my last report, you guys. There was a spot out here. Let's try going to our new spot then. Hang on, let me find our new spot, folks. Real quick, I said was right. No. Came out. Should be like right there. But change it real quick. I'm sorry. I'm doing research while I'm trying to do a live. I shouldn't. Yeah, maybe I should. You guys get to see how I do this. Where did I find it at? It was wind. No, it was currents. We were at 1,000 first. I zoomed in. Oh, no. I gotta go back to this. There we go. Let's try this. And get rid of this. There was a patch out here. All right, we're going to start going over the hotspot then. We're going to look for another one of those X repulsion sites, or the opposite of the X repulsion site, which is the whirlpool. Okay, so either one, you're either going to have, this is either going to generate a whirlpool like I showed you in the previous videos, or it'll produce the X repulsion site. So the X repulsion site would be the south pole, the whirlpool would be the north pole. So we're looking for a circular vortex like this one, maybe right here on the edge of this hot spot right here, could possibly be establishing a new north pole. Okay, so for right now I gotta wrap this up here in a little bit, because I need to go deeper into this and see where it's establishing it. But let's pull back real quick, look around, let's see if you guys can see a little bit. out of all those different flows, those circular flows in that zone, right, let's go in just a tad tighter so you guys can see. All right, so we've narrowed it down to that zone right there. So in that zone, which one looks like the most circular to you? I think it's this one right here in the middle. There is also an interesting vortex going on right up here, but that's out of the zone. That's above the 15-degree line. Yeah, it would have to be above the 15-degree line, I think, because it'll be the North Pole traveling north, right? Right? Yeah, I believe this is our new North Pole right here. Let's zoom in on this a little more. Oh, you guys are watching my discoveries with me? Yes, look at the tight rotation on this. Now, I wouldn't expect to see a heat signature on this, but a cold signature. And let's look at the color right there. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Ooh, baby, I think I may have just found our new... Okay. Okie dokie. Because, look here. We have both of what we're looking for, folks. Do you see it? Do you see what's going on right here? Another X repulsion site forming right next to our new pole. Bingo, I found it. I thought I was going to have to do another live stream later when I found it, but we happen to find it right here live right now. Isn't that amazing, you guys? You're looking at your new North Pole right there. It's going to wander because these are... No, it's not going to wander. It might wander a little bit if the South Pole does. But I think what we're looking at here is the establishment of our new North Pole. If we continue with our list and the way physics works, this might establish a nice cold superstorm, okay, that will be... Let's pull back. Oh my God. We are not going to get off of this so easily after all. Okay, can you see now where we're right here? Let's zoom in again. This is our new pole establishing right here off the coast of Mexico. Out here. The water, this is all warm water. Look at this. Look at this, you guys. This is all the warm water temperate zone, and we have this cold stream going through it. This is cold water establishing itself in the warm temperate zone right around this new central rotation that has an X repulsion site. Okay, so it's spinning the right way too. So the other one's spinning the opposite way, sucking stuff in. This one's spinning the other way, sucking stuff in. So that's off the coast of Baja California, the very tip down here. Here's the Yucatan Peninsula. So if you drew a triangle, bing, bing, bing. There's our new North Pole establishing right there, you guys. I doubt if anybody else could show you this stuff. I doubt if the guys at NASA have even figured out this far yet. So that would make you guys the elite. Again, you are the elite. The people here at this channel are the elite. The other ones are, the other elite are criminals, and I will never call them that because they are not right in their minds. And that's all going to come crashing down now. You guys seen that now. So All this worry, there's no justice. Oh, yeah, there's going to be justice, ultimate justice. And I bet you right now, as these guys, as scientists, are probably explaining this stuff to the officials in Washington, they're shitting themselves right now. So maybe you can get a little pleasure knowing that they're starting to squirm a little bit because they're finding out the hard way through their scientists who are going, sir, we have a situation. And now, look who we have in charge. Do you think this man is going to be able to handle the situation that is going to be coming very soon? With a war coming at the same time? Look, guys, it's we're getting close to SOL or STHF. I can't even pronounce it right. A gradual shift. Yeah, I saw that in the comments. This has not been gradual at all. All of this has blossomed since the last day. So we're looking at a sped up process. Yeah, don't look up. You know what's crazy? I don't watch Netflix, okay? I refuse to watch the propaganda, whatever. But when my computer went down, there was nothing else to do, so I happened to catch a little bit of Don't Look Up. And boy, was I shocked, because the character in that movie, the doctor who discovers this stuff, nobody takes him seriously. He has earth-shattering news, and they would rather play patty cake with all their pomp and circumstance, right? You know the movie if you've seen it, or show, I guess, whatever it is. But I could really relate to that guy, and it almost felt like they were making it as a spoof of me. So, continue to ignore it, continue to make fun of it, while I continue to make progress, okay? And you guys will continue to make progress as well. Let's zoom in on our new North Pole now, because we've already seen the South. This has a cold signature, it has a tight rotation. What we need to do now is back off of this. I want to go right about here. No, a little higher. No, even higher. Perfect, right there. There is no storm feeding this at all. I don't see any kind of flow. There is no front. There's just no storm right there except for this thing by itself. Now I bet you this thing starts to spin out of control too, and it might even give off heat signatures. Even though it's cold, it might start forming those same heat signatures that we've seen around the South Pole now. Okay, so I'm not going to make a prediction. I'm going to say we're going to see them form here. If we don't, it's probably because it's the colder part that's going to freeze. But we'll see. I see a heat plume right here next to it. And I see this cold spot right here with another huge heat plume over here. That's an island. And look at the flow going around that island. All right, let's move on. In this zone, this is where I was looking originally for a convergence. I see another potential spot right here. Ooh, there's a couple of them. It looks like it's fighting over which to pick. It appears this one is the most dominant. So I think right now we're in an unstable state to where we're having magnetic pole little spikes all over the place. It's trying to pick where it wants to go. look south of this. No. Yeah, everything goes normal back then. Just west of it. Hmm. Yes, we're on currents. Let's go. What was the other one that showed up? 70. Hang on, I'm just doing a little research here real quick with you guys. Hopefully you don't mind. Y'all seem to be sticking around here because I think you want to find out what's going on and how I do this. I'm going to zoom in on this central spot right here. I have a corresponding expropulsion site right here just off of it, okay? So this is a contender right here. That's what I'm going to call this, is a contender. I wish we had some spectrum sticking. You see this purple showing up here? Is it showing up on my screen? It might be. I'm going to have to do more research on this one later on, okay? So we have a couple of potential spots where our other pole looks to be forming. When I pan back out of all of this, it's either this or that. Okay? So, does anyone know why? Anyone know there's a ton of circles spinning? Well, they're vortices caused by electromagnetic, what did I say? They're electromagnetic vortexes. They're being caused by instability that's because of the core. I got to make a better note list. My notes are so just jumbled, all slammed together because I note stuff as I go, and it just keeps continuing. All right, I think that's going to be about it for right now, folks. I'm going to continue to track this other one. Let's go finish over at the other side here at our established South Pole. Okay, let's go to the wind again. Oh, that's what I need to do, is go to the winds over that one. That's how I found it before. Let's go to 850 right there and zoom in. And note the changes from last time. It was this yellow thing was pointing out this way. Now it's shifted over here. So this thing is constantly evolving, moving, and changing. We have these purple diamonds and grid over here on this side now. So this is kind of wobbling, and it's established right here in the middle, and then you see this effect. It's establishing new ley lines is what it's doing. Okay, so I think that's it for right now. I gotta go do a couple more things, and maybe I'll be back in about an hour. I'm gonna try to come back for sure, maybe in about an hour or so. All right, let me go gather a few more things up, and we'll see if we can do a. Look at this. Let me take this out. We'll close out with this image right here. In fact, let's pull it over into the center. There we go. Okay, you guys take a peek at that for a minute while we close out here. Whew, a lot of hard work went into this. Yeah, there's a person out there you can thank. She's in there. So she's helped a lot with this. So I appreciate everybody's help. And like I said in the last video, you guys are all freelance reporters now to go. I gave you a list of side effects to go find something that correlates. It's all over. The signs are all around you. You just need to go start recognizing them now, okay? And you need to start preparing. however you want to prepare. I'm not going to tell you how to prepare or what to prepare for. You better be a believer in God, because this is what was foretold in the Bible, and now you see it happening and coming true right before your very eyes. I've showed you plenty of images of Jesus in the clouds. Okay, you think that was a joke or that it's not serious or whatever. Well, now you will start to take it seriously. I love, look at this. Let me move it just a tad bit. Can you guys see this barrier forming right here? How it's nice and hard, really fast right here, and it's starting to, oh, it's almost changing as we watch it. All right, I'll be back in a little bit with more of this to come. Get your friends, get your family, get them curled up around the computer or whatever you're watching this on, and make plans for me to be back in about an hour, which will be, let's just set it for 1 p.m. Pacific time, okay, or 1 a.m. Pacific, 1 a.m. Pacific, which would be an hour and 10 minutes, I think, from the point of this video. Okay, hang in there. Stay tuned. I'm sure you won't be able to sleep after watching this, so I expect to see most of you guys back. Love you all, miss you all, and until my next video, bye.